Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of November 27th through December 3rd. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss next week's reading. All right, so what is the message coming through? What is it that you need to know? What is the energy in your life right now? And what can we read for you today? Well, we start out with the Magus, Mercury, the Magician, the Juggler card. This is a fantastic way to start. This really is kind of open-ended in some way, but it's telling me that you have a lot of power, you have a lot of skill, you have a lot of control really over how your life is going. But let's put that into some context here. And we're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread as we usually do. That is going to include this mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're not going to look at that until the very end. So definitely stick around till the end of the video so we can find out if that's going to, tie the reading together or give us that confirmation that we're looking for. Okay. So let me just take, I don't want to lose all my incense there. Let's take a quick look at some of these cards. And, right away we see, obviously we had that Mercury card, right? We had this Magus, this Magician, this Juggler. This is all about creation and really channeling your purpose, right? Channeling that kind of subconscious drive into the external world, okay? So we also pair that with this Eight of Wands. Now the Eight of Wands really is all about Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius. So this is really a very important, a very kind of special pairing for you this week. And I think what this is referring to is, one, your ability to really direct your life in any way right now, okay? I think that the possibilities are open to you for whatever it is that you're trying to do with your life, whatever your kind of creative drive is. I really feel like this week you're going to feel just in complete control, a tremendous surge of power, okay? And that power is the power of creation, of directing your life, of really channeling that kind of divine force, that inner fire, that creativity, channeling that directly into the external world, directly into your life. And it's going to happen rather quickly because the Eight of Wands here is all about very quick messages, very, very swift action, but very swift communication. And Mercury here is all about the communication. It's all about expression. It's all about taking whatever is within, right, deep within or from the divine or wherever that comes from, right, this creativity, this passion, this fire. Taking that and expressing that into the external world, okay? So I don't mean to get too abstract in this reading, but sometimes we get pairings like this, and this really is all about Mercury in Sagittarius. So this is about how you're formulating your plans, how you're expressing your plans, how you're putting those plans into action, right? How you're expressing your purpose and your intention and your will, your desire, your drive into your life right now, okay? And it seems to me like a lot of this is going to be focused on your domestic life, your career, your financial life, okay? And one of the reasons why I say that is because we have this Princess of Discs here at the top of the path of the Dove. And usually this card represents success and abundance and growth and blossoming and flowering on every level of life, right? On the physical, the financial side of things, but on the mental, emotional side of things as well. Okay, this is kind of a general abundance, just a really wonderful growth and flowering and blossoming of your life on every level. And I think this is where your focus is. I think this is kind of what you're aspiring to, is this overall happy life, this overall satisfaction and fulfillment. You really want to succeed in your life, right? And I'm thinking personally, based on what some of these other cards are, this is going to be something that's primarily financial, right? Primarily in terms of career or employment or the physical work that you do, right? Manifesting something on the physical plane. So that could be like a form of wealth, a form of success, getting that new house or, those new possessions, building the life up around you in terms of these tangible things, right? So career, finances, etc. And this is at the top of the path of the dove. So I feel like that's kind of your aspiration. That's kind of your main goal right now, where you're focused, what you're kind of looking up toward in order to reach that. And I think that is an overall success and abundance, like I said, but I think it's focused right now on this career or this work that you're doing. And now I also see in the recent past this devil energy. Okay, and this is a lot of earth and a lot of fire energy here. And in the recent past, I think this is showing us that there's been some kind of a surge in your creativity. Maybe you had this kind of surge of an entrepreneurial spirit, right? Something that just kind of started building in you, and it's aimed towards the practical, maybe the day-to-day, the work, right? The finances, the career, that kind of thing. But it was a surge of creativity. So I'm feeling like you had a new idea, you had a new business, you had some kind of a new project, a new surge of energy that can innovate, that can push the envelope, that can do something new, that you think is going to lead to this kind of highest goal right now, this aspiration of overall success and abundance that I think is going to come through via this financial, this career path, okay? So I don't know what this was or when this happened. Maybe we can go back to some of our previous readings for you and see if we saw any indication of this surge, of this great idea, this big plan, this sudden ambition, this sudden, passion or energy or excitement to create something new, to express yourself and to do it in a way that is going to bring these tangible results, right? So the physical, financial abundance and wealth and success, okay? So I think from this burst of energy, this burst of creativity, it really is starting to build fast. It's starting to kind of really take off, really snowball into something it seems like it's a very rapid thing. It's happening quickly, this new project that you're working on, this new focus, this new career ambition, or whatever it is. Maybe leave me some comments and you'll let me know where some of this energy is focused. But with this Eight of Wands, I feel like it's really happening quickly. There's not really been a lot of time for you to sit and think and reflect on it, right? It's just kind of something that it's keeping you quite busy, let's say. And then with this, with this Mercury energy, I feel like you are being kind of guided along by your own higher self, your own spirit, your own momentum, really, right? It's kind of, when you're in the zone playing music or playing sports or, racing cars or whatever people do for that kind of adrenaline or that rush or that involvement that you're taken out of yourself, right? You're not really thinking consciously about what you're doing. It's just kind of flowing through you, like music or like a sport or like an art, right? I think that's all connected. I think it's kind of like a meditative state. And that, I feel, is what's going on with you. You're really getting this kind of momentum, this push. It's almost like you're just kind of witnessing yourself doing all of this work, this project, this kind of, this art, this creative thing that you're doing. And it's almost like you're being directed from a different place within you. And that place is the Magus. This is the magician. This is Mercury. This is the juggler, right? And so you're kind of, you're creating this thing. I almost picture like, the Edward Scissorhands, where he's just flailing wildly with his hands and he's creating something extraordinary, but it's not something that he's consciously focused on or that he's planned. It's just kind of a spontaneous dance or an art, right? And maybe I'm spending too much time on this, but I think this Mercury and this Eight of Wands combination is very important, and it really is kind of keeping with the momentum, right? Stay in that zone where you are in that kind of Zen-like meditative state, almost like outside of your body, like doing this project, right? Don't stop and think. The problem with Mercury is that it's also the mental realm. It's also communication and intellect. So this is a tendency to fall out of this zone by overthinking, right? By thinking too much, by becoming consciously aware of what we're doing and how we're doing it, and all the movements and all the kind of micro processes that go on in our subconscious minds to keep this thing going. Once we stop and focus our attention on it, we lose it. Okay, so that's kind of the double edge of Mercury here, is to try to stay in that zone. Try to allow the momentum to just carry you forward without thinking too much about it, without becoming too conscious of it. Because then that's when you lose that meditative state, right? As soon as we are aware that we're meditating or that we're concentrating, we lose it, right? That's just kind of the irony of it, I guess. But I really think that you've had this surge of creativity, and it's flowing nicely. It's flowing very fast. It's really kind of an explosion of creative energy. In the immediate future, we see the Tower card. Now, the Tower card is a lot of this fiery energy, a lot of this kind of almost chaotic, almost just crazy, hectic energy that almost seems disorganized, almost seems destructive. But I think this is your fury of creativity. This is really just like that. Not that it's my favorite movie or anything, but the Edward Scissorhands, where he's just flailing. It's just chaos. But in the end, it's a beautiful work. And I think that is kind of where this Tower card is headed, right? I think that you are breaking down some kind of barrier. You're innovating or pushing the envelope, like I said, right? You're doing something different. You've had this surge of this creativity, this energy, and it's taking you somewhere that maybe no one's ever been, or into some area that is new for you and maybe new in the industry that you're in, right, or the career path that you're in. I feel like you have some kind of a very novel idea, okay? And it's something maybe that no one else has really done or tried or succeeded at doing, but you've got this creative energy. You're in this magician zone, right, in this Mercury kind of mode. And I think that it's really going to be something very innovative. It's really going to it's really going to be a breakthrough, let's say. And the Tower, I think, is a great image of a breakthrough. And I think once you achieve this breakthrough, once you have this kind of Tower moment, I think it's going to calm down a little bit. It's going to be that release and that kind of explosion of your creativity and your success that then things will mellow out a little bit. You know what I mean? Now, the final card that we see on the path of the Dove here is just beneath the surface. This is underneath it all. This is kind of the foundation of your situation right now, and that's the Hermit card. And I think this is you really focusing on this work. You're turning away from a lot of the distractions in your life. You're turning away from some of the hustle and bustle, some of the rat race, some of the more superficial or somewhat meaningless activities or distractions in your life. And you're focusing on this work, this creative, this surge of energy, okay? And I really think that this is an important time for you to remain within yourself, right? Remain centered, remain grounded, remain focused, and not allow too many distractions, right? Because I feel like the distractions will kind of take away from this momentum that you have now, right? I think that it's not that it's easy to become distracted, but I think the more opportunities there are for distraction, the more likely you're going to fall out of this Mercury mode, right? This kind of magician zone that you're in. And the situation now, whatever this creative flow is, because these are some major arcana cards, right? Let me hold these up. This is the Devil and the Magician right into that Tower card. So this is very heavy energy. This is very important work that you're doing right now. And this is something that maybe you feel called upon to do. Maybe this was something that you didn't have much of a role in deciding this, right? Maybe this is just this surge of energy, this opportunity, and it kept snowballing, it kept growing and going forward so fast that you really had no time to stop and debate or decide or analyze or, weigh the options. It was just full force right from the beginning. It just kept going. So it feels maybe that it was something out of your control, something that is maybe happening to you rather than something you're responsible for. But, it is important to keep this highest goal in mind. And this is the abundance, the success, the fulfillment, satisfaction, the financial stability and safety in your life. And I think this is really, This kind of success and blossoming and flowering is coming by way of this project. If this is a career path or something that you're working on, that's going to bring you more success in the physical life, right? And I think directly related to that is this hermit energy. I think it's important for you to stay focused, keep your energy concentrated, right? Don't allow too many holes in the boat, let's say. All right, you have to keep things contained, keep things really tight, and I think you'll have the concentration and the focus to ride this wave, ride this momentum to this tower event, which is going to be that breakthrough, that final release, the culmination, the climax of this whole situation. And I think then after that, there will be a little bit of relaxation. But I think right now, with the way these cards are flowing and with this Eight of Wands, this feels like a very fast-moving situation. Something that you don't want to stop and think about, because then you're going to lose that momentum. Okay, now we're going to move over to the path of the Serpent, and on this we see some different energy over here, and I think it's good, because this was just kind of a lot of force and fire, a lot of activity, a lot of movement, and just, it's really just kind of one message over here, right? Just keep going. Just don't lose that momentum. And then over here, the first card is in the position of your general energy, right? Your kind of ego energy right now. And we mentioned this a moment ago with that control, feeling that this situation is happening to you rather than something that you are deciding or you're in control of. That's echoed here with this Two of Wands. This is about control. This is that tendency that you have to take conscious control of things. And I think in this instance, it's not something that you really want to exercise, this control, okay? I think with the two here, it's so close to the unity, so close to the spirit, to the source, that this is saying, look, you have this impulse to control things, and you want to do so consciously. But in this instance, you have to trust this too, because this is that fiery energy that's so close to spirit that it is beyond your conscious mind, right? It's beyond your conscious ability to exercise this control. So this is, in a sense, saying, look, you have to trust that the situation is under control, even though you may not be feeling consciously like you're the one in control. Does that make sense? Like you're being guided, the situation is being guided and is under control. And I'm restating that. The situation is under control, just not consciously by you. Okay? And that's something that you kind of have to surrender to. You kind of have to just accept that and allow that, whatever that guiding force is, to continue with this momentum, right? To continue doing this work on the path of the dove, to reach this tower event, which is going to be a very, very major event. Okay? And it really is about surrendering that need for control, that conscious need for control, trusting your intuition, trusting your higher power, your higher self, true self, guardian angel, spirit. There's a million words for it, but trusting it, okay? Surrendering a little bit of your conscious control to that other force, that guiding force, okay? And then the next card is in the position of, it describes your relationships right now, okay? Now, in every reading, there is this position, right? There's always a card that is representative of your relationships in general. And it doesn't mean that this is a relationship reading. I can see people out there rolling their eyes right now saying, oh, another relationship reading. Well, everyone has relationships with someone or something at some point, right? It's not, no one's living in a vacuum where you have absolutely no relations with anyone or anything, okay? So in this position, we have this Prince of Swords. This is air on air. This is a lot of communication, a lot of trying to exchange information with people. Okay? And I don't know if this is maybe an air sign person that's in your life. If this is someone very close to you or very much involved in this project, this work, this path of the dove stuff, it could be someone who is about the same age as you, masculine energy person. I'm getting that feeling. And I'm also feeling like they maybe an air sign, but as I usually say, you may not know their astrological placements, and that's fine. I don't like saying, oh, this is a Libra person in your life, because I don't know who in my life is a Libra person, you know? I mean, I'd have to think about it, but this is somebody with whom there is an important exchange of information. They probably have a strong air sign placement somewhere, right? As I'm sure you probably do too. But I think this is that important exchange of information that is in some way crucial to the work that you're doing, okay? And this could be a romantic partner, because some of the next cards that we see are cup cards, some water cards, right? We didn't have any water on the path of the dove, so I feel like this was just all business, all focus, all force and fire, all like earth and fire energy, right? That strong impulse to create whatever this tower event is on the physical plane. It's going to happen. You're making it happen in reality, right? In this kind of, shared reality. But there is the question of this connection, this exchange of information, and who this person is, and why this exchange of information with them is so crucial. Okay? So think about that for a moment. Who is the main person involved in this work, with whom you are sharing information? There's a lot of exchange there, because in some way that's a very important relationship for you, because I think it may be related to this Eight of Cups. And this Eight of Cups is this lack of enthusiasm, this kind of lack of heart, like you're losing interest, you're losing the desire, you're losing the joy, you're losing the kind of passion for whatever this thing is. Not that you are, but I think this feeling might be rearing its ugly head sometime in the future, where you're going to feel a loss of heart maybe about it. You're going to feel a little bit of a lack of interest. It's just that passion and enthusiasm may wane. And it could be that your exchange of information with this person is what is keeping you motivated, keeping you going, keeping that fire energy stoked, right, and burning bright. Because we're trying to avoid this. Now, if you were maybe without this relationship, without this exchange of ideas and information with this person, you might fall victim more easily to this lack of heart, this loss of heart, loss of passion, loss of excitement and interest in this work, right? You might peter out a little bit. So I think this is the air, the oxygen that is blowing on this fire to keep it going, okay? And that fire, again, is this Eight of Wands, which is a very mercurial fire, very Sagittarian fire, okay? And it really is leading to this innovation, this tower event, this breakthrough. And this, again, this person here is very much the oxygen that is keeping this fire going. And that fire, that momentum, is what is going to keep this from happening, this loss of heart, okay? And I think if you were going this alone, or without this oxygen, right, I think you would, at some point in the future, lose the momentum. You'd start to feel a loss of heart, loss of interest, right? Now, once we overcome that, which I think you're going to, you know that it's coming, you know that you have to keep that fire stoked with this oxygen. And the final card is this Nine of Cups. This is happiness. This is great fulfillment, great success. I think you're going to have this tower moment. It's going to be that force and fire, that fury, right? That breakthrough. And it's going to happen because of some of this energy that we see on the path of the Serpent, right? The Two of Wands and this oxygen person, right? And the avoidance of this Eight of Cups. And the end result is going to be happiness, joy, fulfillment, pleasure. It's really going to feel good. It's really going to feel like an accomplishment. You're going to be more than satisfied with the results, I think. And I said this tower energy was going to be a breakthrough. It's going to be very kind of almost chaotic, almost hectic. But once that happens, it's like the climax, and then you're going to be able to relax a little bit after. And you're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? This is really going to blossom and flower and come to fruition, and you're going to be able to enjoy this Princess of Discs, right? The success and the abundance, maybe the recognition or the security or just the accomplishment in general, the abundance that you're going to have in your life through this work. You're really going to be able to enjoy it and take advantage of it. Right? You're really going to feel it. And the Nine of Cups there is perfect because, as I usually say here, I love the Nine of Cups. I don't like the Ten of Cups because that is too much of that success and happiness, right? You get too much of what you want, then you kind of don't want anything else. It's not as satisfying. It doesn't feel good anymore, right? So you've always got to stay a little bit hungry. And the Nine of Cups is perfect fulfillment, perfect success, but then it leaves a little bit of room for you to start thinking about the next big thing that you're going to do, right? What's next for you? What are you going to go after once this is completed, right? There's going to be something next coming. And that is going to keep you from becoming too complacent, from losing interest in any of this work that you're doing or this ability that you have to innovate or reach these breakthroughs, right? So you're going to stay hungry, a little bit hungry, so you can move on to the next project after this one. And that is very exciting. I'm actually really, really curious what kind of, what this work is that you're doing, because it feels to me like it's very important work. Maybe it's some kind of work that is really going to benefit all of us, you know. But I feel like it's a major event, and this tower event, this major event is coming. And I hope when it does come, maybe you'll come back to this video, leave a comment, or maybe on next week's Sagittarius reading, and just let me know how things are going. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know when this tower event really does happen and how you feel about it, right? Because I really, I do these readings, and I get an initial feedback from you all, but then down the road, I don't really ever know how this pans out. And so I'm very curious, especially in this instance with this tower energy, with this breakthrough, this innovation, this kind of climax event. But let's go now to this confirmation card, this mystery card. What is this going to show us? What is the key to this all? What is going to really tie all of this together? This could be something like an Empress card. I know I kind of always think it's going to be the Empress card. But for me, the Empress really would, tie this all together and maybe give us that clue that this is something that's going to benefit everyone, right? That's not just for you personally, but it's something that has far-reaching implications. This could be just another Earth card. This could be, a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. That would be very, I think, appropriate in this situation. Let's find out. Let's not beat around the bush. All right, well, we've got an Ace of Cups. So this is more of that water energy that we kind of ended with, right? We were on this path of, avoiding this. Like, you got to keep your heart in this. You have to stay enthusiastic. You have to stay interested and passionate about what you're doing. And you're going to have the success, but you're going to be a little bit hungry still, right? After this joy, after this accomplishment, after that, like riding that cloud nine feeling, after that wears off a little bit, you're going to start thinking about what comes next. And I think there will be a next. There will be the next thing that you just fall passionately in love with, and that becomes your new obsession, right? And that starts this whole cycle of this devil, magician to tower all over again. This is the seed of that. This is what really, I think, probably sparked this to begin with. I think it was this one thing, this Ace of Cups, this one thing, idea, plan, whatever it was, that you just fell absolutely in love with. And that is what sparked that fire and really, really got you going on this work, on this path. Okay? And so I think this is going to happen again. I think this is, the Nine of Cups, this is that 10th cup that you're going to go after, right? This is the next one that is in the sequence of these 9, right? 7, 8, 9. And then the 10, well, what do we know about numbers? We know that the 10 is the return to the unity. Number 10 is the return to the number 1, the Ace, okay? So this is really foreshadowing this continued cycle for you of falling in love with something, using all of this energy. I don't even want to go back over it again because it was very intense energy. Using all of this force and fire and achieving success, right? Achieving your tower event, enjoying it, riding that cloud nine, riding that wave, and then starting over again. So this is a really productive cycle of energy for you. You know what I mean? I think in the extended, we probably will get a 4 of Wands. I'm almost sure of it. Because this seems like it's a pattern for you. It seems like this is not the first time this has happened, where you've gotten an idea, you've gotten obsessed with, you've fallen in love with something, and you used all of your force and energy and you did it. You accomplished, and something major, right? Just these wonderful achievements. And then you kind of come down from that, and then the cycle starts over again with a fresh Ace of Cups. And that's really a beautiful thing. That's the kind of cycle that we need to be on, all of us, right? And so I very much admire that about you. I hope you'll stick around for the extended reading. You can become a member to the channel by clicking on the links. There's a button and all of that stuff. I really encourage you to do that. I think it's a great way to support the channel. You could also buy me a coffee if you want. This was your weekly tarot forecast here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This was for November 27th through December 3rd, and I thank you so much for watching.